I've been killing this. Yeah, I've been hard in the paint, not a single assist. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist. Yeah, I've been now they with this. Yeah, I've been killing this. Yeah, I've been hard in the paint, not a single assist. Yeah, I've been flicking that wrist.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Fasten your seatbelts for one of the great divisional rivalries in the NFL. This is the first of 2 games between these teams this year, and you know it's going to be entertaining. It's the Oilers going up against the Texans. With that, let's send it out to our broadcast team, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis with this Week 2 matchup.
All right, thanks, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas at NRG Stadium in Houston. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to Week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Houston Oilers and the Houston Texans. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right.
Detroit!
Tighten up!
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And his first pass is incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
39! Green, 39!
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
That's how we ball, fellas. Keep playing hard. Not today! Not ever!
First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right.
Now a handoff to Miller. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
Calais Campbell is one of the tallest defensive ends in the league. Has the ability to get low and play the run, and adds excellent kick blocking ability.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
3 down! Hurry up, here we go! Leopard! Detroit! Hurry up, here we go!
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
There we go, D! That's the way to hit!
Offense in a little bit of a bind here. 9 yards to go on third down.
Drop deep.
Now let's go! Over! All right, now, Lucky 56! Lucky 56!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He finds his target, Fuller. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
3 down. Now let's go! 3, 9.
On second down, here's Miller. inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets them a new set of downs.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
All right, now look at 56.
They'll run it again with Miller. And snapped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a good gain of 11, sets them up first and goal.
And this has been an excellent drive to start the game off. Move the ball downfield well. Now they're set up at first and goal after that last really nice run. Exactly how a coach would draw things up. This is how you want to start a game, and that's all they preached all week long about how they wanted to come out of the gate.
And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here. This close, sneak it.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
And now it's second and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Lamar Miller, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have taken the early lead. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. They come out here in the eye. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And if this offense is going to flow today, certainly the running back will be a key piece.
Without a doubt, because they asked their runner to not just do that, but to block, to catch, to help set a tone for their offense.
Here we go now.
They'll set up a throw. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
And they'll run it here. And a loose football. And now off to the races down the right side. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. And maybe that's the perils of being a rookie running back in the NFL. I mean, look, it's not easy to hold on to the ball at any level with these talented guys. But in this league, you can learn a lesson early. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, there's a blocked extra point. I remember playing and we had one of those go against us. I remember our kicker and our holder told the head coach, just relax, coach. Why are you yelling? Don't worry, it's just 1 point. Oh, my. Those coaches see a point is gold to them because you never know how it's going to turn out later.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say. First quarter, we'll see if this has any implications as the game goes on.
I still can't believe they told the head coach to relax. Whoa.
Bad move. Here on the catch. It's a pickup of 19, and it's good enough for a Houston first down.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Back to throw now on first down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to the 36. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. The defensive crew for the Texans. Here's a look.
Kevin Johnson's skills just continue to get better and better. An elite athlete out on the corner. He's up to the challenge of any receiver.
Hey. 14. He's going deep. Get him. Single.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Kevin Johnson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now out comes Houston. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Hurry up, here we go.
He'll look to throw. On the right side, this is Miller. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Kevin Dodd in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That sacks on back-to-back plays. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, no second-guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Fielded at the 43. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
He'll look to throw, and he's got his man on the out route. Now whistles here, and we've got a man down. Man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. To throw here on first down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Rashard Matthews, the intended target. That'll bring up second down. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
12 yards to go on third down. Again, we'll see the pistol here.
Now let's go!
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
So this offensive unit, they've now had 3 drives, and they only have 3 points to show for it.
Payoff is the key for everything. How many offenses have we talked to that say we have to finish drives? Thus far, this team hasn't finished it quite the way they wanted to.
A beautiful fake. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Out of the gun now on third down. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now.
All right, here we go.
Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And they went big on first down. Proves unfruitful.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it. what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. And, Johnson dinged up a bit. Still down. Hopefully nothing serious. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Now this time he'll look to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive the team towards a victory.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it in the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away. Throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down.
Watch 9, watch 9. Hurry up, here we go. 3.
Again, he'll drop to throw. He's got time in the pocket. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football and not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process.
Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And out will come the offense as they take over. Shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Double tight, double tight. 4 down.
Here's a give to Miller. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. Calais Campbell on the stop.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Tight right, tight right.
They isolate Hopkins on the left side. They'll look to throw here. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. Well, we saw the practice film this week. They wanted to focus on these intermediate passing plays, and it paid off there.
And they took that focus not just to the practice field, but in the film room to show the guys exactly what they wanted, what types of looks they should expect to get, and how they would beat those coverages each and every time, and it paid off on that play.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Now back to throw. Caught left side Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains, and really it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. they're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
A first down carry now for Miller. He'll get only a couple down to the 44. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package.
Blue 90! Blue 90! 54! Here we go!
A first throw for the backup Osweiler. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Call it a gain of 5. And they're going to have a third down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of there where all the big boys are. You know, make someone miss in the open field.
And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
That's fielded in the end zone. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. And now out comes Houston. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this run. Poor punter. Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down.
No, that wasn't an explosive run. That wasn't one that took it all the way to the house. But, boy, for a team that's had trouble running it the entire game, that's the kind of run they need, hopefully, to get themselves kick-started.
Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down. So completion on second down, that brings up third. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Back to throw here. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Brett Kern now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Taken in at the 11. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45, and the Texans take possession. And now out comes Houston. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
The insistence of speed at every position is really seen at the defensive end spot. These guys in the old days were often outside linebackers. They just pushed them forward because they wanted to play fast and get to the quarterback or the running backs quicker than ever before.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it's third down.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you get way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they're going.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. What's that? Now? Oh, we're back. Okay, well, something happened to Larry in the halftime show, I guess. We're ready for the third quarter. Let's go. That'll be taken in the end zone. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. And now out comes Houston. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is. Right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. He'll try again with the arm here on under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. John Simon in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Out of the gun now on third down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Rashard Matthews, the intended target, and that brings up fourth down.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
This is fielded at the 27. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
How about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Second down following the run.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
Watch it now, Barney, Detroit! Now let's go!
Again, it's Miller. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
You have to love and admire the effort because he almost broke free in the backfield, but you also have to love and admire what the defense did. Swarmed the play and made sure he couldn't get anywhere. A loss of yardage.
Yeah, they've got an extra defensive back out there now on 3rd and 13. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Houston. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before and realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well.
else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. They'll look to throw here on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Fuller brings it in over the middle. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Check, Patriot! Patriot! Let's go! 13!
He'll look to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Jay Prosh, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And they're able to up the lead by 1 more. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Being chased, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. John Simon able to disrupt yet another pass play, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on 2nd down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to look deep now. They've got his man complete. And that goes as a gain of 37 on 3rd down. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there. You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good action. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first.
3 down.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete.
Missed.
It will not go down. That one goes for 24 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that'll be incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Much like that of just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Well, I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as they'll go for it on 4th down. This will be caught just inside the 10. The decision to go for it doesn't pan out. And this Texans defense stands tall. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
They begin with a run by Miller. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Time to tighten up the seatbelt just a little bit, partner, because that was a safety that crashed in there and made that play behind the line of scrimmage. How about that pursuit?
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11.
Everyone's got 4. Now let's go. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun! Here we go.
Miller will get it. He has been busy today. And a cut to the sideline. A big hit in there from deep in their own territory. 37 yards.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to happen next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
And some room to maneuver. Touchdown, Houston. Braxton Miller, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Texans add on. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. Took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot.
Key to tight end. Hey, we got 3 down.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
No. 3 down. Here we go now. Over.
Six guy.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he's going to be taken down. He's sacked on the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. So a big sack on second down. Now let's see what the offense has in store for third. They come up in an offset eye.
Now let's go.
They'll set up to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Ringo. Here we go.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game. And if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit. Try it that way.
Here we go now.
Out of the gun now on third down. Flush to his right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney in there with pressure yet again. And that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon. Here's Brett Kern now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. And again here, we'll see the Wildcat.
Let's go.
Direct snap this time. Miller muscles him off. He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They'll look to throw. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
And they just had another big completion there, and I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Here we go. 3-19. Detroit. Detroit.
Watch out.
Here we go.
They come out here in the eye. Now back to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. DeAndre Hopkins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
That'll be taken in the end zone. Yeah, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. And now out comes Houston. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch, counter punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. They run Smallwood. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Odd on. 5 down.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Again, Smallwood. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Double tight. Odd on.
Watch it now. No. Check. Patriot. Here we go. 319.
Third down, it's Wendell Smallwood. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Houston.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond. And whistle blown, a timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. And someone must have been in this hot sun a little too long. They've got the punt team out there. And just to clarify, it is not 4th down. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10.
Guys, double tight. Alert.
Now let's go. 319. 319.
Here's Smallwood as they begin on the ground. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
3 down.
10 yards still left on second down.
Double tight. Double tight. 3 down. 3 down.
They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
So second down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on third.
You got 3.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Ryan Quigley now. He's been terrific so far. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. And now out comes Houston. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Texans, they at least get the win here to earn a split of their first 2 home games. And they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they'll drop to 0-2. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.